2021. A memorial for residential school survivors and victims is outside the Houses of Parliament.
The following special presentation is available in described video. Cette émission est offerte en vidéo description. Content in this program will include discussion of residential schools and other sensitive subject matters. If you or anyone you know needs support, reach out to the National Residential School Crisis Line at 1-866-925-4419. To reach the Kids Helpline, text CONNECT to 686868.
Words appear. National Center for Truth and Reconciliation and its partners wish to offer their sincerest gratitude to the Inuit Métis Indigenous artwork appears, and the words Truth and Reconciliation, National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Subtitle, Hello and Welcome. Hello, hello, good to see you. Hello everybody, it's good to see you all. A montage shows Indigenous men and women from across Canada. Hello everybody, it's good to see you all.
Welcome to WOW. Sego.
Tansi.
Hello, how are you, says a man who stands near a fire in front of a teepee.
Welcome to WOW. Dansi.
Oh, Doka Diaon.
Yat e Atlanete.
Danse. To WOW. Hello.
Young women stand in traditional regalia, a map of Canada. The survivor flag highlights Montreal. The city is lit up at night. On behalf of Inuit, Métis, and First Nations people from all over Canada, welcome. And thank you to the Kanegehaaga people for sharing their territory on this important occasion, this first ever National Day for Truth and Reconciliation and Orange Shirt Day.
Orange Shirt Day was born in the tenderness of a grandmother's love. Love in the form of a simple piece of clothing gifted to a beloved child leaving for residential school. A shiny orange shirt. A story you'll hear more about as we take this journey of truth together. I'm Elisapie Pelissi Akumalik Hopanoak. I'm an Inuk artist. I will be with you tonight on this journey, keeping close to my heart aunts, uncles, and family who are survivors.
Tonight, we will cross the country from east to west and learn the stories of our peoples as they wish those stories to be told. Stories that come from the elders and the survivors and from those healing the wounds of the past. Stories woven in truth and bathed in orange light. Our peoples thrived in their territories for millennia before the colonizers came. They tried to kill us. Still, we survive. It is the hope of the elders and creators that listening to these truths with open ears, open minds, and open hearts will lead to open, honest discussion. For then, and only then, will true reconciliation start.
This was the beginning of that feeling that I didn't matter. I turned 6 in July 1973, the age for school. Gran and I went to town on the stage to buy something to go to school in. I chose a bright orange shirt with the shoelace string in front. It was bright and exciting, just like I felt to be going to school for the first time. I can remember arriving at the mission. The building was huge. All of us little kids were terrified and crying. When my clothing, including my new orange shirt, was taken, it didn't matter how much I protested or told them I wanted it back, they didn't listen. All I remember most is crying, being lonely, and how no one really cared about me or any of us kids, and no one would ever come to comfort us. Orange Shirt Day is a day to have conversation about all aspects of residential schools in Canada. It's a day to honor survivors and their families and those that never made it. When I see somebody wearing an orange shirt, it's like a little bit of justice in our lifetime for what happened to us, and I can leave this earth knowing that the current students in schools are learning about what happened to us, and they're going to make sure that it never happens again.
Phyllis Webstad wears an orange shirt, a map of Canada. The survivor's flag appears over Ottawa. An Inukshuk stands in a forest. Rideau Hall.
Good evening. Bonsoir. Unusakut. I am speaking to you from Rideau Hall on the traditional unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe people. I am honored to be Canada's Governor General and to be part of acknowledging this very first National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Today, I want to communicate a message to you. La
Reconciliation requires daily effort from everyone, every day. And this effort we must carry out for all time, for it has no end date or finish line. On this first National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, I urge you to pause and reflect on Canada's full history.
Je vous invite à prendre un moment pour réfléchir à l'histoire canadienne complète.
Do it to honor those Indigenous children who experienced or witnessed cruel injustices. Many emerged traumatized, many still suffer pain.
As we strive to resolve the tensions of the past with the promise of the future, we can stand together and move forward with grace and humility.
Make reconciliation a way of life.
Truth and grief often go hand in hand. In the early days of summer, that became clear when the truth, in the form of unmarked graves, found light. 1,447 uncovered in just a few short weeks, to add to the 370 already found. Over 1,800 little ones in unmarked graves, with thousands more to come. So much healing to be done, so many spirits to be honored. And the tributes in orange have come, both big and small, from across the country.
A montage. Orange shirts hang on a line. They read, "They were children." A woman plays a traditional drum. Places around Canada are lit up with orange light. The CN Tower. An Indigenous elder carries the flag of the survivors. She takes a young boy's hand. Niagara Falls is lit up with an orange light. A stone is painted orange. It reads, "Every child matters." City Hall in Yellowknife bears an orange light. A crosswalk is painted orange with white feathers painted into it. A basket with moccasins and a teddy bear sits in honor of the children who died. The art gallery of Vancouver Island is bathed in orange light. A memorial for the dead children A man holds a proclamation. Children's shoes are laid out in a row. An elder and a young boy hold up the flag of the survivors of the residential schools.
Our travel across what some call Turtle Island starts in the east. From there, we'll follow the sun westward. The communities along our path have all chosen and produced their own tribute to this National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. And even
during this terrible pandemic, they have met and through thoughtful consultation with their elders, leaders, and creators, decided on how to share their culture as they also share their truth. Sibeganagatig is where we begin. A map shows Sibeganagatig, which is in Nova Scotia. A river runs through farmers' fields. Men wearing orange t-shirts, honoring residential school survivors, play a powwow drum. A bald eagle sits overlooking the ceremony in a tree. Honor song, Eastern Eagle. The men sit around the circular animal skin drum and they bang it with mallets. Many of them close their eyes as they sing. Others wearing orange t-shirts stand around them, behind. A rock in the grass reads, "Every child matters." A memorial for the children is laid out in a grassy field. Small shoes are laid out in a row. The drum is about 1/2 meter in diameter, and it rests on a blanket on the grass. The wide river is calm amongst the fields. Subtitle, Elder Becky Julian. I would say when the people agree on how to get along, how to treat each other respectfully, so that there won't be that many misunderstandings and disagreements. There's too many things going on today in this world. We don't need anger. Anger destroys a lot of things. But if we agree, good things come from it. And there's a lot more peacefulness. Hi, my name is Emma Stevens from Escanoni First Nation. Thank you. This is my song, I Want to Rise.
I dream at night of the city lights, the sights and the sounds and the feel of the wind in my hair, the open road, and the stars in the sky as my wheel. From the hills to the shore of this little town, my heart aches for what could be. So close, yet so far away to me.
Emma stands at the edge of a river wearing a red dress.
Wait for all the world to see.
She's accompanied by a guitarist and fiddler.
I wanna fly, spread my wings, leave the ground and touch the sky. I wanna walk this path, this winding road with you. I wanna rise like an eagle in flight, out of the dark, take back the night, bring your voice into the light. I wanna rise. These are the days the hearts can break, and this is the time and the place. I don't know what to think, what to say, how to feel, what is real and what is fake. Can you hear me scream? Can you hear me roar? Can you see me? I'm right here, with my heart on my sleeve and my hands in the air. And I can't wait to meet you when I'm there. I wanna rise, I wanna fly, spread my wings, leave the ground and touch the sky. I wanna walk this path, this winding road with you. I wanna rise like an eagle in flight, out of the dark, take back the night, bring your voice into the light. I wanna rise, I wanna rise. Rays of light shine bright in the night for all the world to see. From the stars in the sky to the clouds above, to the depths of the deep blue sea. Can you feel my breath on the winter night? Can you hear my voice in the air? Wherever you go, I'll be there. I wanna rise, I wanna fly, spread my wings, leave the ground and touch the sky. I wanna walk this path, this winding road with you. I wanna rise like an eagle in flight, out of the dark, take back the night, bring your voice into the light. I wanna rise.
Elisapie.
C'était l'artiste Mi'kmaq
That was
Emma
Mi'kmaq
Stevens
artist
avec
Emma
I Want
Stevens
to
with
Rise,
I Want to
une
Rise,
pièce créée
created
en
to
hommage
honor missing
aux
and murdered
femmes
Indigenous
et aux
women and
filles
girls,
autochtones
and to
disparues
share
et
a message of
assassinées,
empowerment
et aussi un
for
message
youth.
d'encouragement adressé aux jeunes autochtones. Et le courage de nos peuples
And the
ne
power
fera
of
que
our peoples
s'affirmer
will
lors
only
du
grow
prochain
on this
arrêt
next
de notre
stop of our
périple
cross-Canada
à travers le
Quebec
Canada.
journey.
Sur la côte nord
Quebec's
du
North
Québec,
Shore,
au milieu
part
du
of Nitassinan,
Nitassinan, le
the
territoire
ancestral
ancestral
territory
des
of the
Inuits.
Innu.
Nos hôtes, mes très chers
Our
amis de la
hosts,
communauté
my
de
very dear
Uashat
friends from the
Mak-Maniutinam,
community of Uashat
on vous écoute.
Mak-Maniuteam. In Maniuteam, the sun hangs low in the sky at the edge of the ocean, on the sandy shoreline. A man plays a traditional drum. Subtitle: I went to see my grandfather because I wanted to know how the Innu thinks, from where he takes his resilience, that we cannot destroy him. What harm have I done? Before I didn't understand why it was like this, says Alphonse Gregoire, and me, in my child's mind, what have I done to my mother? For them to abandon me in this place. What I do to heal, I draw from my culture. This is where my healing is, my culture. I am looking for my own forgiveness. I must forgive myself before I can forgive others. It's been a long time. I'm 77, and it hasn't been long since I started to heal myself from what I've been through. Mary Balish. I'm really not sure if they're ready to hear the truth, but we are, especially me, who already has a hard time understanding some of the things. You know, I would love to know that you're the one looking for the answers. May we accept them, that we can forgive them all for what we've been through. I would like to know that. I would like to know that. I asked her grandmother, what's most important? My grandmother replied, my girl, what is the most important is respect. You will have to respect people, no matter who they are, your family, your friend, the person you meet in town, no matter who. I believed I was healed, says Sylvain Petit-Volant. I cannot believe it. When the children's graves were discovered, it started all over again. The pain came back. It started again. I had to start finding my way again. I'm talking about whites, priests, all the others that went to reconcile with us. We're not even healed, yet how do you expect us to reconcile? They aren't healed either, you know. They absolutely want that we forgive them. They want to force our forgiveness. A child runs with a ball down a dirt road. Jeanette Volant, the Pope? That's another one, she says. He does not want to say it, to see it, to recognize it, the atrocities that the priests have done. How could we be prepared to say to them, we forgive you for the abuse we've suffered? Everything you took from us, our language, our culture, everything our parents should have taught us, instilled in us. Today we don't know anything. Water laps a rocky shore. Subtitle: No matter what you told us, respect this person, my girl. You will never harm yourself if you listen to what I tell you. I think it's not going to be a beautiful day, but it will be at least a day for the Indigenous and non-Indigenous to come together. At some point, we will have to get closer together to be able to talk to each other. To find peace in the first place, we have to talk about it. To find what hurts inside, you have to get it out. I would be so happy if we could get along, if we could love each other, says Marie Bazile. If the white man could make an effort to do less damage and curb his hatred. I have wished for a long time that we love each other, that we can get along. It has been a long time. Then I asked her, Grandmother, what message would you want to convey to young people? Asks Naomi Fontaine. She replied, tell them to respect each other. The youth to be Innu. No matter what we tell them, even through hardships. Always believe that they are honorable, young, Indigenous. It was not often that there was talk of violence as far as we were concerned, says Florent Volant. You know, whether it is physical or mental, we have experienced violence that is very difficult to, how would I say, to live. The truth is not easy, but otherwise, we have to heal ourselves. We must take care of ourselves. take care of each other before thinking of treating others. We have to heal ourselves at the beginning. From that moment, we will be able to think about looking forward and move slowly forward. It's not something, reconciliation is not something that we are going to experience today or in the near future. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take a lot of energy. It's going to take a lot of people. It will take us. It will take us, those of this generation, to leave our children with something better than we've known. Philippe Mackenzie, songwriter, performer, and first-generation survivor. He sits in a rocking chair in his window. Sylvestre Mista Shipu Mackenzie plays the guitar. A montage shows the residential school survivors who just spoke. Young Indigenous children play outside. A young girl tosses up a pink ball with hearts on it. The sun sets over the forest. Subtitle: What reconciliation has done is very important for people's healing. Being able to tell your story, that no one is going to punish you or kill you because of what happened in the past. And just being able to honestly recount what happened and having people lining to you, and not only that, they too feel sadness hearing things like that. But that is not to say that those people are bad people, like they tried to teach us. We are heading into a new era, one with a certain respect that we've never had before. There are some big changes at the educational level. The changes are incredible. So, to say that reconciliation has not done something extraordinary would be false. And more, it's being understood, and it is taught in universities in places where we educate. So for my part, I'm 89. I am so glad I lived so long to see the difference and to see that it is possible. Then you have to know it. Tell yourself that you have to fight until the end. We do not have to accept that. And we see big changes, says Alanis Obamsawin. Elisapie, 20 years ago, a passionate young music teacher set out to change the colonial education system. She envisioned a community-based, culturally relevant experience. The beautiful Inuksuk drum dancers performing Susan Aglukark's This Child reflect the success of Musicounts Teacher of the Year, Dr. Mari Percy Lewis. As you will see, because now we head north, my kind of north, way past the highways, way past the big lights. A map of Canada. The survivor's flag is in the northern part of Canada. The Inuksuk drum dancers performed This Child by Susan Aglukark and Chad Erschchik. They're in Iqaluit. They wear red amautis. The traditional hooded parkas of the Inuit. 3 of the women play hand drums with mallets.
This child, my fellow human being. This child, let me walk with you. This child, afraid to be alone. This child, let me be with you. This man searching for the truth. This child finding her way home. This song soaring in my heart. This land a journey still Trail my only hope. Hope is all that I can find. This child will never be alone. I'm forever by your side.
Elisapie. And with those beautiful sounds of Inuktitut still echoing in our ears, it's important on a day like today to remember these are the words, the voices Canada sought to silence forever, though it didn't succeed. The attempt to erase who we are continues to cast a very long shadow.
And so where shall we shine our light next? Join me as we head to the northern Ontario city of Sault Ste. Marie, what the Anishinaabe first called Bawating, place of the rapids. And it was in the heart of Bawating that one of Canada's oldest institutions was built, Schwemach. Opened in 1875, its doors would stay open for nearly a century. By the late 1980s, Schwemach would be transformed into a cultural center, both a tribute to those who were taken and a safe space for those lifting their traditions. A duality Elder Dan Pine lives every day.
The survivor's flag arrives in Sault Ste. Marie. A red maple leaf floats in shallow water of a lake.
We're at the Schwemach School. My name is Dan Pine. In Indian, it's Dan Schwemach. And my great-grandfather is Chief Schwemach, chief of the Ojibwe Nation. This is the Garden River Reserve we're on right now. They just took it over, stole it.
A black and white photo shows a residential school.
My sister Betty came here, and my dad went here, but he ran away. There's terrible teachers.
Orange lights dot the lawn of the school.
They weren't, I don't think they were qualified teachers in the first place. The first school was in Garden River, and it burnt. Mohawk, Métis, Crees, Blackfoot, pretty well they came from all over. They should never have sent them here. They were sent here by Indian Affairs, whether they wanted to come or not.
A teepee stands in the shadow of the residential school.
If we don't start something right away. They got to start training the generations that's here now, trying to get back to the old ways where people loved one another.
Spray painted on a bridge are the words, "This is Indian land." A map of Canada. The survivor flag pinpoints Winnipeg.
Beginning in the 1980s, freed from the social and legal constraints that had been in place for so long, the survivors of Indian residential schools took the government and the churches that ran those schools to court.
The Honorable Murray Sinclair
allowed for the creation of a special commission called the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, where all survivors could come and tell their stories, talk about the things that happened to them in those schools, and reveal that to the public. We issued a 6,000-page report in 2015, and among our calls to action was the establishment of a National Center for Truth and Reconciliation to undertake the ongoing work of reconciliation in Canada.
The National Center for Truth and Reconciliation was born out of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. We have an archive, a research unit. We hold over 5 million records in regard to the residential school history in Canada. We have a vision that one day the National Center will have its own building, an international learning lodge, where not only Canadians but the world will come and witness the human rights violations that were inflicted on our peoples.
The work of the National Center for Truth and Reconciliation is critically important to continue the search for the missing children so that families can begin to heal by having closure to finding out what happened to their child or their relative.
The history of residential schools is Canada's history. It's not Indigenous history, and reconciliation belongs to us all.
And now, starting this year, we have the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation. This is a precise moment to take the time to remember the stories that all these survivors have taught us from their childhood experiences.
Truth and reconciliation means to me as a survivor that you can still heal, that you can still forgive, that you can still pursue success, you can still pursue excellence and still become a thriver and not a survivor.
Elisapie.
Many thanks to the commissioners for their inspiring words, Akumalik, and for the time and passion they invested in the work of the TRC. We now whisk you to Wanaskewin Heritage Park, another National Historic Site not far from the west bank of the South Saskatchewan River, an Indigenous gathering place for millennia. Wanaskewin is a Cree word. It translates to being at peace with oneself. And it is with a good mind that the peoples of the area respect and reflect on those who never came home from the residential schools and those who fought hard to leave them behind.
A map of Canada. The survivor flag pinpoints Wanaskewin. Elder Louise Half. In Wanaskewin Heritage Park.
It took me a while to get used to his name. It was as if I was taking my late brother, the one who stepped out on the highway into the winter night of a roaring truck, my middle brother, my childhood rock. Years ago, I visited the graveyard on a reserve and counted all the dead from residential school, relatives, friends from my brother's life. There were over 30 of his peers, suicide, murder, trauma, fire under the safe blanket of the res. Over so many years, and I still weep.
Today, we remember that my people have survived many atrocities and devastating consequences of colonization. As we recognize the colonial legacy, the dark era of residential schools, and its attempt to remove me from my language, culture, and indigenous ways of knowing, I am the product of intergenerational trauma and the effects it's caused my family. Today, I am here because of the survivors and those whom never made it home. Today, I remember that I am the resilience, the resurgence, and the resistance. I am a Cree woman.
I am a Dene woman. TJ Warren plays a drum as his 3 daughters, wearing traditional regalia, dance on the banks of the South Saskatchewan River. One of his daughters wears a jingle dress. Small metal cones are attached to the bright-colored dress and create jingle sounds as she dances. All of the women wave fans made of feathers. They wear embroidered bead earrings. And one woman wears an embroidered bead headdress. One of the dancers wears a shawl with tassels along the bottom. They freeze, holding their fans high above their heads as the sun sets over the river. Elisapie. The sign on his office door defines him. It reads, "Come in and you are welcome here." For over half a century, he has championed the resurrection of Michif culture and language. He is Michif Nation Elder Norman Fleury. Saskatoon. Today, as I'm speaking about my things, many things, and really thinking about our children and our grandchildren, so we can give them something, so they can lift for themselves, to keep their language, to dance and to sing their ways. It will be their turn. They will carry something to keep them strong and to be able to lead. And most importantly, with what they have, they can also lead for us, for our children and our grandchildren. We're still here. We're still related. We're still strong. Most importantly, we must talk about that this never happens again. That someone doesn't come and take our children away from us, and that never happens again. We are very strong to talk about it, and crying this makes us stronger as we remember what had happened. We're strong when we help each other. I am happy today to speak Michif, speaking Saulteaux, speaking Dakota. I know a lot of things. I am Dakota. Today is a good day. It's a real good day today. It's really nice to talk about what we are talking about today. I speak French also. My relatives spoke French, just like Louis Riel. I still speak French, so thank you. I am happy that we spoke to heal and to remember we are related. A map of Canada moves toward the west coast.
The Shudla Residential School opened in Carcross, Yukon in 1903 and closed in 1969. 3 generations of Indigenous children were held there. The Dakaquan dancers are their descendants. Language of our grandparents, composed by Lance Twitchell for Tlingit language learners, acknowledges the strength of our ancestors to survive and endure.
In Karkaros, we dance for our children, we sing for our children. Together our spirits are strengthened. One of the Tlingit dancers holds a young child. We are the Dakaquan dancers.
We are the Dakaquan dancers.
There is strength in the waters. There is strength in the mountains. A totem pole stands by the water. The language of our grandparents. It is inside of us. Our language is gaining strength so that it too may exist forever. Are you ready, Dakaquan? Yes. A man performs in a longhouse for children. The Dakaquan dancers wear traditional moccasins. One wears a feathered headdress, and many of them wear straw hats. The children are also dressed in their traditional regalia. Outside, the mountains rise above the water. A map of Canada. Words appear. Lucas Ewell joined the Warrior Walk from Whitehorse to Kamloops in recognition of the discovery in May of 215 little ones on the grounds of the former Kamloops Indian Residential School.
In school, we're not really taught much about the residential schools.
My dad always kept it a secret. He talked about school, but in a negative way, but never directly that it was a residential school that he went to. And he suffered at the hands of them as well. He was tortured and, beaten, and I heard stories about that when I got to Iskoot, so it was really personal to me.
Nuns and priests and our government did this to children on a daily basis, and then trying hiding it. It's not right.
It's sad to say that today, at 2021, that yes, culture and language and things like that are being brought into school systems and things like that, but it seems so late.
The real truths have to be told across the land, and not the stuff, the fluff that, colonialism has brought.
The drum that I got, I was gifted from Wesley Mitchell, and he gave me that orange drum that I gave away in Kamloops. He told me to take it with me and that there will be a place for it. For the people that drum to them, now that drum's being used every Friday, and it's not just, hanging up on a wall or whatever, it's actually being used constantly. Their spirits are still there, and they know people are there, and, having the drums be hit, I feel like it might ease them a little bit.
Alors que ce voyage
As this
touche
journey
presque à
nears
sa
its
fin,
end,
un
a bigger
autre
one
plus
begins,
grand
says
encore ne
Elisapie.
fait que débuter. Les vérités sortent,
The truth is being
elles sont
told at
enfin
long
exposées
last,
comme des faits
but more
historiques.
truth will surely
Dans
follow.
les derniers jours
In the last
du
days of
mois de
May,
mai,
In Kamloops, 215 lost children were found in unmarked graves.
Dans des tombes anonymes. Le chagrin et la
the heartache and
souffrance
suffering
de 150
of 150
années
years
d'horreur se
poured
sont
from my soul,
déversés sur
and then it
nos
got
joues.
worse.
Il y a eu les autres, et il y en aura beaucoup d'autres. Mais nous survivons, et cela aussi, c'est la vérité.
And that too is the
Ceci
truth.
est l'histoire de tous
Now the
les
whole world
Canadiens.
knows what
Nous
happened
devons
here,
l'affronter,
and many promises
la
have been made.
comprendre, l'accepter et l'enraciner dans le réel pour toujours. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes, this reconciling. Then in 1 year, we can meet again on the second National Day for Truth and Reconciliation to talk about it. Ilavut,
Family,
ilanavut,
friends,
pichativut, nakormig, miigwech.
A map of Canada. The survivor flag appears over Kamloops.
I'm Cookby Rizan Kazmer. Welcome to Schwemach and to our community of the Kamloops to Schwemach. At the end of May this year, the world learned about our community through some heart-wrenching news. The confirmation of missing Kamloops Indian residential school children buried in unmarked graves on the grounds of the former residential school. The news impacted people locally, regionally, nationally, and internationally. There has been an outpouring of sympathy and collective grief. I stand here today in front of the former residential school in my full regalia in honor of all residential school survivors, the missing children, and their families. I stand here for my mother, my grandmother, who are both survivors, and for my daughters and granddaughter. The Kamloops to Schwemach chose to keep this former Indian residential school intact so that we may never forget its history. In this very building that was created to eradicate our culture, our language, and ways of being, we are using it to reclaim, renew, and revitalize Schwemach language, traditions, and ways of knowing. We are so determined that we have dedicated a Department of Culture and Language Revitalization to undertake this important work.
An aerial view shows a vast field.
Is the manager, Ted Gottfredson, who will be a part of this journey that we are inviting you to take with us today to honor Indian residential school survivors, our community, the Kamloops to Schwemach, and Schwemach ways being.
Today we are honored to have a group of young adults who have accepted the responsibility to learn our language and to pass it on to future generations. Our language, Secwepmachchin, has been spoken in this area since time immemorial. Our elders, throughout their time here in the residential school, were able to hold on to our language and pass it on to us, for which we're eternally grateful. Without their resilience and their strength and the power that they had to continue that, we wouldn't be able to say a Secwepmach prayer today or to have a conversation in our language. And to these youth who are now taking on this responsibility, we are so honored to have them present some Secwepmachchin for you today. Cookschechel.
Hello, everyone. We are still learning our language. We will always be here.
For this very first Canadian National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, we called upon people around the world to gather safely, to drum and sing for all the missing children of Indian residential schools. It's time to honor the children and the unrelenting spirits of these ancestors. It's time to drum for the healing of the Indian residential school survivors who carried the burden of knowing where the children were buried, and to drum for the healing of the families and the communities whose children did not come home. We are offering the Schwemach Honor Song to unite us, and I am so grateful for the many Schwemach Kwesaltsins who joined us to sing in the arbor.
Indigenous men and women stand in a circle within a powwow arena. They stand beneath a blue sky, wearing their orange t-shirts in a circle.
Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate everyone coming to learn our stories and participate in some of the history that we had to share from here, from the Commonwealth of Schwemach and Schwemach. We hope that you take what you have heard as the truths, and it's the first step towards reconciliation. We know we have a long path ahead of us, but together we all must be the change for our children moving forth. Cookschachum.
Schwemach Farewell Song, Gary Gottfried. Images of the mountains of BC's interior. The dry, arid mountains lead down to a river that meanders between them. Stones are piled in a cairn. Gary Gottfried stands alone playing a drum within the powwow arena. The audio description has been brought to you live by Descriptive Video Works. Directors Heather Jenkin. A horse stands in the field. Wild horses graze amongst the sagebrush. Talking about what you saw with a trusted friend, family member, elder, or teacher helps if you or anyone you know needs support. Produced in association with APTN and CBC. Insight Productions. Copyright 2021. A memorial for residential school survivors and victims is outside the Houses of Parliament.